It's your girl Dirty Truckin'. This episode is detailing some disturbing facts of incidences that has taken place after recent court dates. See, you can fool me, but you can't fool God. He knows what you're doing. And I believe all this is stemming from money and the need for it. Can you predict or use somebody to predict or acquire large sums of money by a psychic ability? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's 11:30 a.m. here in Detroit, and I've been noticing a disturbing pattern here of what's been happening to me after they got me in the court about this eviction. They've always been doing something to try to get me in court. And throughout the years, through my videos, you hear me talk about how they don't do anything for me. They were always trying to get me in the court. Take the matter to, they're trying to get me in the court for something, anything. So, what I'm noticing a pattern of what starts happening to me, what has started happening after my interaction with the court. One, increased wins in the Detroit area of large amounts from the Powerball. Let's take this back to when they sent me the jury duty. Went to jury duty, and I had to tell them that I'm experiencing a hardship. I can't afford to be there. Which was correct. You see how hard my hardship has got. I'm being evicted. And I believe all this has led to it. Them getting me in the court led to it. Help escalate to this. So, along with the reduction of my income by Uber and a 5-star rating bullshit system. So, let's do a timeline. So, you get me in the jury duty. I tell the judge that I'm experiencing a hardship, that I can't afford to be here because I'm having trouble keeping my rent paid on time, and I'm trying to avoid being assessed court fees, and that I had to get my rent in by the 14th or I'm going to get assessed court fees. And after stating that to the judge, I was excused for the hardship, but I end up not getting my rent in time. It was charged court fees. That's the first incident. The next one, I had this eviction. I had the virtual court date on the 8th of August, the day after my birthday. I got hired in Chrysler the day before my birthday. But they give me a virtual court date the day after my birthday, which is really nothing. But it was during that virtual court date that they gave me my in-person court date. And this is where the story is getting very, very disturbing. During that virtual court date about this eviction here, and I had hoped at that time when I contacted them, I would be able to tell them that I have all the money, that I'm blah, 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 I'm good. And then I disappear, let them know I'm paid up, and we'd be done with it. But I wasn't able to get the money. After disclosing to the jury duty judge that I needed to get my rent, after they found out these dates that I needed to do things by, I was no longer able to do these things by that specific date. You see where I'm going with it? After telling them I needed to get the rent in before the 14th, during that time, because the dates is not always the 14th. It depends on how it falls during the month before they assess court fees. So, after disclosing I needed to get it in by the 14th, I wasn't able and has not been any longer able to get my rent in by the 14th until I was not able to get the rent in at all. After telling that date in the courtroom for jury duty. So now I have a eviction I'm dealing with. Mysteriously wasn't able to get the money to get caught up. And at that time, I was only behind a month. Wasn't able to get the money out of all of July up until my virtual court date, which was August 8th. A whole month. And I wasn't able to get the rent. So now we're discussing my in-person date during the virtual. They wanted me to be on virtual. They've always been trying to get me on Zoom, all this other bullshit. They want everybody around the goddamn city of Detroit to see me. See who they playing games with, to recognize me, so they can do to me what everybody else has been doing. Trying to secure their bag of money off of playing games with me and fucking up my life and doing shit to me. So, August 8th, during the virtual court date, I was told that my in-person court date was to be August 26th. So, August 26th, I go in, do the virtual. Now I got to come up with $3,800 by a certain time frame or vacate the property. So, now, I'm in trying to get up this. I says, it's impossible. I'm thinking it's impossible, but it's really not based off the way I earn with Uber. It's just something going on that's been preventing me. It's as if when they got knowledge of what they needed to do to put me in this position, it was green light. They green lighted it. So, and how ironic that after I had, now and remember, I did a video just leaving the court on the 26th. I had to take that day off because I had been in court the whole day. I made a video about that. The next day I was off because I didn't have any money to get gas. And then that was the 27th. 2 days after I go to in-person court, I get hit at a traffic light by a guy. 2 days after my in-person court date, I get hit by a guy at a traffic light. And you don't find that strange? I go to court, tell them I need to get my rent in by the 14th. Now I'm not able to get my rent in by the 14th. I go to in-person. I got to get this money up or get out by a certain time frame. 2 days later, the rental car gets hit. Now I can't get the money up. Now I got to get out. Where the fuck am I going? I don't have nowhere to go. I guess I'll be sleeping up under a bridge. Trying to find Wi-Fi somewhere to document how and why I'm sleeping up under a bridge. Do you see where I'm going with this? Jury duty. I disclosed I need the rent in by the 14th. I'm no longer been able to get the rent in by the 14th. And I wasn't able to even make the income to get the rent in by the virtual court date to put an end to all this. Then the virtual court date, they give me an in-person date of August 26th. I go to this in-person. They trying to see if I can get the money up because they talking as if we really don't want to evict you. We're going to try to see if you can get the money up. They'll give you some time. If you get the money up or vacate the property by this date. 2 days after that in-person court date, I get hit at a traffic light, ending the business, ending my income, ended all chances I had of trying to get the rent up before I had to get out. You see where I'm going with this? This is why you want to be in court? To hit the car, to see if you can draw money to the state by inconveniencing me and causing more traumatic events, memories to resurface about my legal case with Warren Truck Plant. This is what you did to me. This is what Michigan wanted to do to me. I find it kind of strange. And you don't want me to tell you what I discovered about the guy that hit the car in Uber. That's going to put the icing on the cake. That this was deliberately done.